what was the key to just getting off to such a fast start? Those first 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, you guys really looked like you were in a rhythm out there.
Yeah, no, that is definitely something that we've focused on all week. We've talked about all week is starting fast. You know, something that the week before we didn't do a good enough job on. So it was definitely something that we focused on, and I think we did a great job of coming out fast, putting up some touchdowns early, and you know, defense doing a great job getting the ball back for us. But you know, that's when we're at our best is starting fast, getting the ball, putting up points, and going from there.
What kind of comfort does it give to a quarterback when you got a running back, you just start a game and give it to him 8 straight times?
Mm-hmm. A lot of confidence, you know, especially when he's running the ball the way he is and coming up with some big games right there. You know, I think when that guy's hot, you just want to keep giving him the ball and feeding him. And you know, I think just his ability to stay in there and you know, just take those hits and keep running the way he does. You know, it's a special player for sure.
And we look at this turnaround for you individually since the bye. How much of that is because, you know, when you have that running game, it seems to make things easier at your position throughout the league, right?
Definitely. You know, whenever you're running the ball well, you know, the next stop is the defense going to try and figure out a way to take that away. And, you know, they might load the box more, do things like that. So anytime you can run the ball, I think it just helps set up play action too and set up some more stuff down the field.
Jordan, every week, do you feel like more of a connection with Christian? Like you just kind of know where he's going to be and where you can put the ball in areas either to get pass interference or at least get a catch?
No, I think me and Christian, all the receivers had a great connection. You know, I think just trying to get him those targets has been something we've been trying to do lately. He's been doing a great job. You know, I think obviously there was a couple deep balls today that were left short. You know, I wish I would have put them out there more for those guys to go make a play. But they're doing a great job trying to fight through contact and drawing some of those PI calls. But you know, obviously trying to get him the ball as much as possible. The way he's running down the field and getting past some of these DBs. So definitely something to keep going forward.
Is that route to Romeo on the last touchdown exactly where you want him to be, just right down the post?
Yeah, you know, he's just running a post, and you know, they brought all out pressure, and you know, he just won inside, and I just threw it up for him. He made a play, but you know, it was definitely a lot closer to the back end line than I thought it would be. But yeah, I mean, all out, he's just got to go make a play one-on-one with that DB, and he came up with it.
What was the situation with the clock at the end of the first half there? Obviously, you guys had to settle for the field goal, but were you trying to push it there or just kind of get into field goal range?
No, we were we had a shot play called right there, so we were definitely trying to you know, take the top off and score a touchdown. You know, I think that's always the mindset in those 2-minute situations. We had a timeout, so we were trying to push the ball down the field, and you know, we drew the PI call right there with a couple seconds left. But yeah, we were trying to push it down the field.
What did their defense change coming out of the locker room? Obviously, it was a really explosive first half for you, and it seemed to take a while to kind of get your feet under yourselves in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they did anything crazy, anything that we might not have been expecting. I think you know, we came out and just weren't making the same plays that we were making in the first half, and you know, that was probably the most disappointing part of the game for us is just the second half. We didn't feel like we got back in that rhythm and that groove and were able to continue to just move the ball. But I think more than anything, we were just hurting ourselves in some of those situations.
You guys know how good you can be. How important is it to be able to put those 4 quarters together with January and kind of get close?
Very important. You know, we talked about all week. This is a playoff type game right here. A playoff team on the other side, a very good team. So, you know, in an away environment. So, you know, it's something that we're going to have to clean up, just having that consistency through 4 quarters and be able to put together a 4-quarter battle. But we always talk about, you know, in these games, it's somehow always comes down to the last couple minutes. Teams find a way to put up points and do different things. So, you know, you just got to be able to keep that foot on the gas and keep making those big-time plays that we were making in the first half. But we definitely got to do better of just playing a complete 4-quarter game.
How much control did you actually feel on the road, like compared to Detroit, where it was pretty crazy? But, I mean, you were able to get them to jump off and throw a pass to Tucker. Did you just feel like everything was in control while you were going through that?
Yeah, no, I think I mean, I think the guys did a good job communicating in the huddle and getting out and staying locked in with the snap count and being able to hear Josh up there and doing those different things. So I think, it's credit to everybody on offense just doing a good job handling the noise and the environment. But to that point, too, I think, the Packer fans did a great job showing up for this game. I mean, it was packed out with a lot of Packer fans, which definitely helps that out.
Did you actually get him on a hard count, on the guy who jumped when you completed the ball to Tucker? He was offside.
Yeah, we got them. They jumped offsides.
You got him on a hard count?
Yep.
It's the first one ever in the stadium, isn't it?
Might be. I'm not sure.
Everything you just said about, finding that consistency, how good did it feel to punctuate this one with that Romeo touchdown at the end, just to kind of put a stamp on it?
Yeah, no, that was a really nice play and a really nice job because, the couple drives before that, we just felt like we weren't getting much out of it. We weren't executing at that high level and making those plays we were making. So to kind of have some of those drives stall out and then to, put a drive down the field and, finish with that touchdown out there, Rome making a great catch was, it definitely helps you be able to breathe a little bit better.
Jordan, I know you got confidence, obviously, in all your receivers, but just what did it mean to get Rome back after missing a couple games? I mean, that first touchdown he had, he just bowled his way across the goal line. What did you think of that and just having him back tonight?
Yeah, no, that was awesome. That's something that I really haven't seen out of Rome, just running guys over and carrying them, putting the team on his back. But I think it just shows how much he loves it and is willing to fight for those extra yards and just fight to get that touchdown. So that was a great play by him. But like you said, I mean, you always want to have your best guys out there healthy, and it was tough not having Rome out there, but to get him back and obviously him having those 2 touchdowns was huge tonight. He's one of our best playmakers on offense, so it's always good having him back out there.
How impactful was Edgerrin's interception with just the momentum of the game?
That was huge, like I said, just having those drives stall out on offense and then for Coop to be able to go out there and get that pick and almost was able to take it back, it looked like. But, he had a great game. We just talked about it in there. Coach just read off his stat line and, just hearing some of that stuff. Man, he had a crazy game. And, you've seen the work he's put in throughout the course of the season. He's getting better every week, and he's a phenomenal player. So it's good to see him go out there and have that success.
Seattle's obviously known for their fans. What did it feel like? I know you mentioned a bit, but just to hear the Go Pack Go chants echo through Wilmington.
No, that was awesome. That's something that I don't think anybody will ever forget. Definitely, the game started off loud, but even from the get-go, just seeing all those Packer fans there was awesome. And then obviously to have those Go Pack Go chants, ring through the stadium was a great feeling.
2 more.
Jordan, how do you feel just about where this team is right now, getting your 10th win tonight? Just kind of how the whole picture looks. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I feel really good. I think we're in a really good spot. I think we got to do the same thing we've talked about all season, just take it one game at a time and finish the season off and, be where we want to be for playoffs. But I like where we're at, and we just got to keep figuring out ways to get better, keep pushing each other, and finding ways to get these wins to end the season off. But I like where we're at.
Good.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Our team effort, especially our defense, I thought they played a really good game. You know, for 4 quarters, got constant pressure on the quarterback, got a couple takeaways. It was great to have Cooper obviously back. His stat line was pretty impressive, and he made some big-time plays. I think offensively we started fast and then stalled in the second half and didn't probably perform the way we'd like to, but you got to give them a lot of credit. I think that defense has come a long way. I got a lot of respect for Mike and his staff, Adam Durde, for their ability to get those guys to play, and they play hard and they play the right way, and it's a good scheme, and so you got to give them a lot of credit. And but I also want to give a big shout out to our fans. I mean, I definitely was not expecting that many Packer fans in the stands. This is a tough place to play. It's extremely loud. And I was shocked when our defense was on the field and I could hear our Packer fans. So I definitely think that made a difference for us.
You guys are probably going to have to play on the road. You know, when you get in the playoffs, you're going to have to be, you know, road warriors. How do you like how you're handling these situations when you're on the road?
You must have listened to my post-game press deal with Larry. It's exactly what I said. I mean, that's the reality of it, more than likely. So, but we just got to keep stacking wins and try to take it one day at a time, one game at a time. But I like our guys' confidence. You know, we came out, we started fast. We knew that was going to be a key to the game, to try to take the crowd out as best we could. And I thought, you know, the first half was a pretty clean half. You know, CV had a huge pick for us, and we were able to take it down in points and get points at the end of the half. I totally mismanaged the end of the half. I mean, that was 100% on me. Just being a little too indecisive, putting it on Jordan, giving him a call at the line of scrimmage. It just took far too long. So that is something that can't happen, and that can cost us if it were a tighter game. So that one's on me.
Were you thinking they're just get into field goal range and get into a half 17-point?
Not necessarily. It was a moment where I was indecisive, and then didn't want to call timeout because too much time had ticked off the clock, and then I should have called timeout and didn't. It was just poor management and something that can't happen.
And Jordan's checking to a play. Is that
Yeah,
what
he
so long?
he was. Yeah, I gave him free reign to get to what he wanted to, and but I shouldn't have done that. I should have been more decisive and had a play called for us. Got on the ball. Definitely did not want to give him the ball back before the end of the half, but once we got into midfield, we needed to be more aggressive, and that was just lousy play calling by me.
You could obviously see it in the stat sheet, but what did having Romeo back mean in this game?
Yeah, how about that catch, that second touchdown catch? That was big time play. You know, I love how Rome works, and he's been pretty consistent for us when given opportunities, and he comes through. So it was cool to have him back out there, and it's hard to get all the guys the amount of touches you'd like to when you have a room that you feel is pretty stacked, and you got a lot of guys that you want to get involved, whether it's our running backs. Certainly Tucker Kraft made some big time plays, but that's a good problem to have.
With a young team, what is the process like of instilling that killer instinct in games when you just go finish it? And how important was that touchdown to put a stamp on this one?
Oh, it was big time. Because it felt way disjointed in the second half. I mean, that's the reality of it. And again, give them credit. I mean, that's a good defense. But I thought there were some opportunities there we just didn't capitalize on. And some was just lack of execution, and other was terrible play calls.
How do you look at those pass interference ones to Christian? So, you know, Jordan said he wanted to get the ball out there a little bit more, but he still gets it, you know, in a situation where the receiver has some sort of an advantage. I mean, are those, you consider those?
Are you talking about the last fourth down, or the last third down?
Well, was it the first half pass interference down to Christian when the guy was right in his chest? You know, he said he wanted to get that a little farther down the field. But I mean, are those plays you consider good decisions on his part because he sees a guy one-on-one and thinks maybe he can get interference?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, if we have a lot of confidence in our wide receivers, no matter it's Rome or Wicks or Watson or Jay Reed, Bo, any of those guys, and when they get one-on-one ops, we expect them to make the plays. And then, I mean, a PI it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but those are some chunk plays.
Matt, what is it about Cooper, you know, I mean, he's a rookie, he misses 3 games, and then, you know, he gets in there and just has a huge high-impact game. What is it about him that allows him to do that?
He's just a hell of a player. And I think Half does a great job of putting him in positions to have success. And it's been fun to watch and witness his growth. I think Campanelli does a hell of a job with that whole room. Those guys have all gotten better throughout the course of the season, whether it's Quay, whether it's Eric, whether it's Isaiah. They are all improving. Hopper, every guy in that room, and it's because of the consistent coaching that Campanelli does. And I think Hafley does a great job of, you know, putting those guys in positions to make plays. And then Coop's a hell of an athlete, man. He's a really good football player. I think he's just scratching the surface of what he could become in this league.
Gino going down obviously changes the game for the Seahawks, but how about the sacks in this one? Was that just a plan before the game, or was that opportunity?
I think that's the plan every week, right? It's just whether or not you're able to go out there and do it. Yeah, obviously, we're always trying to get pressure on the quarterback. That's the number one way to disrupt anything on offense. So, but our D-line came to play, and they did a hell of a job and just got constant pressure. And you never want to see a guy like that go down. I got a lot of respect for Gino and just watching him through his career, how he's reinvented himself. And he's playing really good football. I mean, you're not the second-rate passing leader in this game for no reason. I mean, they got a lot of good players over there, and he does a great job. So hate to see it for him and for them to go down. We never want to see that, and it's unfortunate, but that is part of our game.
You guys are 10-4, just had a pretty decisive win against a really good team and a really tough place to play. How close do you feel like you guys are 3 games ago to realizing and reaching what the potential is?
We'll see. We're going to take it one game at a time. That's just the mindset that we've always had here, and I still think there's a lot to improve upon, and myself included, obviously.
How much does that weigh on your mind when, you know, playing go back to Green Bay tonight? You guys just had this big win, but the things that are still out there.
I mean, that's kind of the mindset that we have, is just how can we get better? And I think you got to keep pushing that envelope and trying to strive to reach your full potential.
Did you guys spend some time on screen passes this past week
We did,
in practice?
yeah. It came up handy, right?
Yeah.
We did a really good job. I got to give Half a ton of credit. I mean, I think he just, he does a heck of a job, man. It means a lot to him, obviously, but he does a great job of putting our guys in position, always coming up with things to kind of offset wherever our holes are. Because, you know, me being an offensive guy, you always think that you can poke holes for any defensive scheme at some point. And it's just, you're constantly trying to stay ahead of the competition. And Seattle does a great job in their screen game, so we knew that was going to be a part of this game. And I thought our guys went out there and took the coaching and executed at a high level.
Giving it to Josh the first 8 times, 2 in the screen game and 6 running the football, was that just intentional to set the tone, just wanting to go through him at the start?
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily the scripted plays in order. Obviously, I think the first 3, I want to say, out of our 30 plays or whatever we had scripted were went in order, and then I just felt like we were getting good movement up front, and so I just kept leaning on the run game, and Josh was running hard and getting downhill, and you know, so just kept feeding him the ball. It kind of set the tone for us as well.
Kind of start with both safeties back quite a bit.
Apparently, 2 more questions does not apply to you. What was that?
Didn't they start with 2 safeties back quite a
Yeah,
bit?
that's their defense, and like, I mean, early on we knew it's extremely difficult to get behind this defense. They do a good job of keeping a lid on the coverage, and we knew the checkdowns were going to be huge. I thought there were some opportunities in the screen game going into the game. So that's why we came out with those right away. I mean, rarely do teams screen back to back. So there was just some intent behind that, and our guys went out there and executed, and it set us up in a good position.
Thank you, guys. You got any feel for Quay, whether that's bad or any?
I don't know. I just know they told me at halftime he was going to be out. You guys good?
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Does anybody have any other questions? Tomorrow? All right.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. All right.
One more.
What you got? All right. Take care, guys.
Take care. Thanks, Jason.